Welcome to another episode of Coffee with the County. Today is a special occasion. In the last few sessions and the first few podcasts, we've been focusing on Aitkin County internal departments and what internal departments do. And as a part of our strategic plan, we are also wanting to focus out into the community and hear from community leaders and organizations so all of you listeners can understand what's going on out in the market. But with that said, today I have with me Stephanie Mollet, the Outreach Coordinator for the Aitkin Chamber of Commerce. Hello, Stephanie.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in. I know you're the first guinea pig of outside people coming in and talking economic development. So I think it's really good to get highlights of what goes on out in our community, what's happening in our community, and how can we help the residents. So you just had some big strategic plan sessions this morning, so I'm sure you're fresh on everything that the chamber does. What would you describe as the biggest thing that the chamber does, or what's most important that the Aitkin Chamber does for the community?
So I would say the thing that the chamber is most important, what the chamber most does for our community, is we are supporting, we are advocating, and we're really getting it out into the community how great we are and to the visitors that are coming into our area.
How great the community of Aitkin is that what you mean?
So we're the Aitkin Area Chamber of Commerce, and the biggest thing I have to say about that is we're not only Aitkin. So we also go outside of Aitkin into some of our other communities. Because we are such a rural community, we have so many great businesses and so many great communities that are within a short distance of where we are, that we really try to draw into that and bring it all so we can be together and work together and have a great time.
Yeah, I think coming to mind, I know Palisade area, the Glen area has some great businesses in those areas that, they don't have the capacity to have their own chamber in every one of those small towns. And like you mentioned, that's exactly what the Aitkin Area Chamber is all about, is being able to welcome those folks in too. When you have a bigger groups make greater decisions and can move things along in a better environment for everyone. So what are some of the things that the chamber works on? When you mention we advocate for businesses, we advocate for community, what does that mean?
That's a great question. The chamber has its toes dipped into a lot of different things. So not only are we there for the businesses and assisting with maybe marketing ideas, promotional opportunities, professional development. Not only are we doing that, but we're also advocating for having community events in our area. For example, Bicycle Alliance Minnesota is looking at Aitkin and having Aitkin as one of their hosts for one of their tours. On their 4-day tours, they go 60 miles in the area. The Chamber of Commerce was involved with trying to get them to come here and really encouraging them to see how great the Aitkin area was, how we have naturally better trails, we have naturally better roads, and it's just a beautiful community, and we can really work on getting that out and spreading the word to different people. So that's going to be 350 bikers or cyclists that are coming into the area, and that makes a huge difference to our businesses because it gets out how great it is, what a wonderful place we have, amazing people, but then how amazing our businesses are and how many great ones we have.
So that's a great live example of what I think the chamber is responsible for, right? You had a really strong hand in bringing that cycling group to Aitkin, right? I think you even joked at one point you were hounding them and making sure that they knew that Aitkin was an option for them. And normally they go over into some different areas and have not been here before. Is that correct?
This is the first time that they're going to be coming into this area. So they have shied away from it previously because we're a little bit more rural, and we have a little bit busier roads because there's only a couple of roads that lead straight into Aitkin, so they're typically a little bit more busy. However, one of the biggest things is they really want to see that rural side of things. We really have an amazing music and arts going on in Aitkin, so that was a big seller for them. We have amazing things, especially during the summer, to be able to do tons of great music from Friends of the Arts and down at the Ripple Center. And so there's a lot of community collaborators that are coming together to make the area great in itself.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you get bonus points for saying naturally better, by the way. That was pretty nice of you. Appreciate that.
I knew you would like that.
Yeah, That's awesome. If you think back what you just said about drawing in certain events or certain things like this cycling group that's coming in, that's the Chamber's role, is to bring people to our area, to highlight the great things that go on in our area, right? And then it's up to the businesses after that. Once the people are here, sell them things, get them into the restaurants, get them into all those things. Would you say that's the right way of thinking about it?
Yeah, I would say that's the right wavelength. We really are pushing our members to be the ones that are getting out into that community and getting the visibility, and we encourage that visibility. When it comes to people or visitors coming into our area, the biggest thing I'd say is positivity, positivity, positivity. Having people come here, coming in with a warm and friendly environment and welcoming people that are visiting our area make all the difference, because it makes them want to come back. Mm-hmm. And so that's really is painting that picture that Aitkin, we may be rural, but we have a big heart, and we've got a ton of great stuff going on.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's really cool to hear that mindset of how the Chamber is providing that opportunity and the businesses can take advantage of that. Business members also get to network together. Network might not be the best words, but as members, I believe the Chamber also does some things, members only information and stuff like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, so for those of you that are listening that maybe don't know a lot about what a Chamber of Commerce does and in the area, so we are a member-driven organization. So most of our income is based off those memberships, grant opportunities, and other collaborations that are within our community. Now, those memberships are what help drive being able to promote Aitkin and promote the different things we have going on. I'd say the biggest part about that and the biggest thing to consider is our members, we're really promoting them. We're trying to get it out there. We just started Member Mondays, so we're highlighting different members every Monday. We have a membership exclusive newsletter that talks about different grant opportunities, different professional development opportunities, and really just the general things that are going on in the state of Minnesota. We have a lot of things that have been happening recently, so having the information and being able to build off of it is important, but really it comes back to those connections. We really encourage networking, but more the relationship building or the connection building.
You've been doing this, it sounds like, for 100 years, right? How long have you been with the Chamber?
So I have been with the Chamber since May of 2024.
Okay.
So I have not been here for quite a year. I have also just hit a year of being in the Aitkin area. So I actually moved up here with my family in December of 2023. So we came, visited the area, loved what we saw, loved the schools, loved the people, thought it'd be a great place to live and to raise our kids. So we came from a metro area to more of a rural, back to our home, like more hometown size, where we felt like our kids could really grow and thrive. And that's why we chose Aitkin. Before I even started with the Chamber, I had walked down the downtown businesses, walked into each one of them, and like, what are you guys selling? Like, what do you guys have? Do you guys know of anything great going on? Where can I find events? And then the Chamber opportunity popped up, and it just seemed to be a shoo-in for applying for it.
Based on experience, and I do have to admit I am part of the board, so this isn't a set-up conversation or anything, but I think the board is very lucky to have you as their outreach coordinator. I think you've got a great team also there with Becca.
Becca Pecha, she is actually a social studies teacher over in the Crosby School District.
Nice.
So she is amazing. I'm very lucky to have her. She's the one that puts together our newsletter that we send out bi-weekly during the winter months and then weekly during the summer months. And then she updates our community calendar on aitkin.com. So she does an amazing job getting all this stuff together. But coming back to the board side of things, I honestly would not be where I am at today, or the Chamber would not be even where it's at today, if it had not been for its board and its board doing such a great job doing the collaboration and putting their feet on the ground and talking to our different members.
Yeah, as part of that board, I can tell you not all boards are as positive as what we see in the Aitkin Chamber board, as innovative. I think it's really great compliments to that whole attitude that we're trying to promote out there, positivity, and really just trying to build things for the community. And, taking care of the businesses that we have are most important. Bringing in new business is also important, but it's the businesses that have built Aitkin that we really want to take care of and make sure that we're giving them all the things that we can to succeed.
Absolutely. I would say even more so, while we're there helping provide and supporting, like providing opportunities for our businesses and supporting them, really it comes back to our community being able to support those businesses in a greater aspect. Them coming together, supporting local, shopping local makes all the difference to make sure that our businesses are staying here and that our businesses thriving here.
You mentioned that you had just moved here recently. What's your background all about? Where do you come from, Stephanie?
So I am from the Vermilion, South Dakota area. I graduated from the University of South Dakota in sociology and also criminal justice. So I have the experience where it comes towards that sociology side, to really looking at the studies in people as they move in groups. It's perfect. Works really well in this position. I'm very big on to looking at statistics and seeing how maybe we can improve things and how to do everything a little bit maybe smoother, or maybe improve upon it and make it a little bit better. Sometimes it's not the most popular decision, but in the long term, the hope is that really it's going to up that positivity and get people wanting to come here and stay here for longer, hang out all day, have people coming in with their families, maybe when they're up here on the weekends, or even during the work week, popping in and stopping down at some of our businesses downtown and enjoying some of their great food.
You are amazing at what you do. I think everyone that we're hearing from would agree with that. You're out in our area, you're out seeing the people, understanding their business, how to improve their business. And I think it was really important that you mentioned you have to make some tough decisions sometimes. You have to make decisions in your role, in my opinion, as for everyone, not just one or two individuals, right? You have to do what's best for the entire business area that we have. Yeah. And sometimes that's hard, right?
I would say yes, it is. It is hard, but it really does come down to looking at that bigger picture, taking as the bigger picture to see where we want to go, and then going step by step. How do we get there? How do we make that bigger picture happen? And how can we make it successful?
That's the important part, and that's the expectations, I think, of the business members. That's also the expectations of the chamber, is that we all work together, collaborate, create momentum to continue to have responsible growth in our area. The migration, like you mentioned, you moved from the metro area. That is happening, and that's real. People are moving out of the metro to find a more welcoming quality of life. We have to, as a community, accept the fact that people are going to want to move into our area. We're not going to turn into the metro. That's not something that's going to happen in this area. It's responsible growth. And again, responsible growth takes care of the businesses that we have already, that are already here and have been here for years. So I encourage you to continue doing what you're doing, because things have been going very well. You want to talk about a couple of the things that are coming up for the chamber that might be happening soon?
I mean, I won't say no to that. I would say, so a lot of people don't know how immersed the Chamber of Commerce is in our community. So the Chamber of Commerce hosts over 10 events that are community-oriented events throughout the year. And then we are also involved in multiple others. These events are made possible by the Chamber of Commerce, but then also by our sponsors and our members that are participating in them. So coming up, we have our annual meeting. That is in April. That's for our members. It's a Taste of Bavaria. Pretty excited about it. Our planning committee is doing a wonderful job getting it all set up. After that, on June 14th, it's the same day as the Lakes and River Fair, if I'm not mistaken. So things happening in Aitkin on that day. It's a perfect day to come into Aitkin and check it out. We have Paddle Your Glass Off. And what that is kayaking down the Mississippi. And at the conclusion, there is a beer and wine tasting from multiple vendors in our area. And it's just a great time for people to enjoy some outdoors, see some of our beautiful water trails, and then also enjoy some of our local breweries that are there. Let's see. Then, of course, Riverboat Heritage Days. So that's a big one for us as being a riverboat town and that being a part of our history. That is on August 1st. The exciting thing about that this year is that we are focusing even more on community collaboration than we ever have before. So we are working with CAPS, and then in addition to that, we are also working with Ripple Sippy. They are going to be there on that weekend, and then all of our different businesses that are coming together to have events on Riverboat Days weekend. Be there for the parade, be there for the downtown time, and just have a good time. So really encourage businesses to really get that visibility, like what we're trying to provide and the opportunities for it. It's free marketing to be in the parade, so we really encourage that. And then after that, we have our golf scramble, our clay shoot, and then the fish house parade in the winter. So that's going to be in November. So those are just our bigger events that we end up having going on. But we also do a lot of smaller ones. We have ladies' night out. Our retail committee ends up putting that on, and we always get a great turnout. It's tons of fun. We have the terrace. It's beautiful. Really encourage people to go and check it out. Yeah. And really, it just is getting people into the area and just exploring, seeing all the great things we have going on.
Yeah, it sounds like you're very busy. There's not a gap in any of that, and the events and the regular things that you're still doing at the chamber to try to help support businesses out there, and yeah, I would love for you to come back anytime you want and talk about any event that you want on a separate subject. Let's sit down and go through as it gets closer. For example, Riverboat Days, and let's sit down and let the listeners know what exactly is going on, what can we do to help, that kind of thing. So please come back.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely. Nope, and I'm busy, but it really, again, it comes back to the board and all of our different committees that are the ones that help make this happen, because 1.25 person show can't make it all.
There you go. 1.25.
Yeah, 1.25.
So let me ask you about committees quick. Do you have to be a board member to be on committees?
No, we highly encourage anybody, if they're interested in participating or helping, being involved, or volunteering for any of our events, you are welcome to come to our committee, volunteer. Really, it takes that collaboration of ideas to make something a success, and really it just comes back to that collaboration. Yeah. We really are pushing it this year, and we're hoping to see success and get more involvement than we've ever had before. And for that to happen, we need the general public. Okay. Sometimes there's people that have amazing ideas and they don't think they're going to be heard. Those committee meetings are the places to come, so that way we can maybe run those ideas by the group and then maybe implement them and make them happen.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you're wondering, how can I be part or should I be part? You have a website, right? It's what's the website address?
You can go to Aitkin.com. So it's Aitkin. You guys should know how to spell Aitkin.
It's very simple.
.com. Yeah. There's an events calendar on it, all of our sponsorship opportunities, different events that we have going on, as well as pictures of past events on there as well.
Yeah. Check it out. Local businesses, if you don't know exactly what the chamber is out there doing to support you, check that out. And if you want more information, make sure just give Stephanie a call. I know that she's very, very welcoming with conversations on how to, join in the fun and how to get your business promoted more. So yeah, let her know. Reach out and try to make that difference for the entire community that everybody is. It always sounds cheesy when I say that we're stronger together, right? We have a whole bunch of great organizations that are out there, and a lot of times they're spinning the wheels trying to do everything themselves. If we get together and collaborate on different things, we can make it so much stronger. So really encouraged to see Riverboat Days this year. I know that we have been, not that there was anything wrong with it before, but we've been improving and adding and doing some things more collaborative, which I think is really, really good for the community long term. Anything else you want to bring up before I let you leave the building? She's like trapped in here until
I feel like
done.
I'm being pressured now. Not really. Again, just like what Mark was saying, if you have a question, I do think of myself as a pretty welcoming person, but I'm also a huge advocate on there is no such thing as a dumb question. No such thing. You could ask me what color sky was. It's a ton of different colors, so we'll figure it out. But if I don't know an answer to something, I will do my best to figure it out. But the chamber is also there for communities. So if you have questions about businesses to go to, different resources, or maybe you want some reviews or have some questions about somebody that you need some work done for, the chamber is the place to go to get that information, because we have all of our members and all of our businesses in the area that are working hard to make it so that way we have a successful community, and the chamber is the one to help spread that word.
I mean, I can't say it any differently. You're the expert, and you said it perfectly on what the chamber does and what the chamber is needed to do. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it very much. For the first official outside group and organization to come in and talk with us on Coffee with the County. And please come back anytime you want. Give me a call, let me know, and we can help spread the word of the great work that the chamber's doing. So thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Mark. And I'd say it's a little more of a collaboration side of things.
You love that word, collaboration.
I do.
She's a team girl. All right, perfect. Thank you, and you're listening to Coffee with the County.